at this weather. Man, it is going to be cold. 22 degrees. Feels like 5. Oh man, that's not very high. 90% chance of snow today? All right. That kind of makes up for it. Ooh, lake effect snow warning until Monday? Wait, today's Monday. Oh, 10 p.m. p.m., is that in the morning or afternoon? p.m., I think it's afternoon. That means, okay, good, so it's going to be like all day. Remains in effect until 10 p.m. Yes! Snow day tomorrow, woohoo! Oh, it already started recording. Oh, man. I never know when this thing turns on. Give me a warning, will ya? What am I doing? I gotta open the math. I had it ready to go. Stupid program. It never does what I want it to. That's how computers are. Anyways, let's get into the problem. Okay. Today is, I like to think of it as a little bit easier because you don't have to actually solve exactly, which I know is counterintuitive for math. Usually you have to solve exactly, but as we've seen earlier this year, oftentimes they just want you to round and estimate. Estimating is really important, probably more important in real life than actually solving it to the exact number, depending on the circumstances. When you just want to do some quick math in your head, this is a great way to do it. And I like estimating because it's actually faster than doing the actual problem. Okay. Let's say donut. I'll draw a donut. My cat. Those are her ears. And the tail. Whoop. She's got a long tail. Let's say Donut had a foot that connected to her body. Okay, now she does. And those are her claws, even though she doesn't have claws in the front because she's declawed and an indoor cat. Okay, let's say Donut has 3.53 pounds of catnip. And she wants to divide that evenly over 51 days, so she has a long time to play with it. The problem is she ends up eating the catnip, and then she kind of goes crazy and runs around and runs into walls and knocks herself unconscious. Okay, I made that last part up, but she does run around, and she does eat it. And my little daughter, who's 1.5, thinks it's hilarious. And her father, me, also thinks it's hilarious. So we try to give her catnip. Thanks to one of my students, I do have some catnip. Let's see. So if she has this many pounds, and she's really good at math, by the way, because she watches my videos on YouTube. She's a subscriber to my YouTube channel, Mr. Zeger Videos. Just search for it on YouTube. You'll find it. So if she has 3.53 divided by 51, you're allowed on this to round. Now 51 is obvious. It rounds down to 50. That's a no-brainer. Some of you are like, it is? Yes, it is. And if you didn't think that, then this is why you're watching the video. So it's helpful to watch. But basically, guys, it's just rounding. So if you didn't get it, just review rounding. It's not a big deal. But when we're rounding, you want whole numbers to the nearest 10, 100, 1,000, whatever the case may be. But we've been doing this to the nearest 10 for a long time. This number, you're going to round. Now, this is a little harder. 3.53. The 3 doesn't round the 5, but the 5 does round the 3. So it would be 4. And if you want to just say 0.00 to make your life easier, hey, why not? So 4 and 50. Well, let me spread that out a little bit. Notice the symbol means about, with your little hand gesture, about. So 4 divided by, oh my gosh, that went downhill fast, 50. So Donut has 4 pounds and she wants to divide it over 50 days to make that Christmas present last. Well, 50 days is a long time, so how are we going to spread 4 pounds out evenly? 4 pounds would have to be split into, what we're going to do is split these into bags. So we're not going to weigh them in ounces or anything. We're just going to divide them in the exact number of bags. And we're just going to try to put some in each bag. Theoretically, we should do it by ounces, but whatever. All right, so estimate the quotients now. 4 divided by 50. Well, I can't really do that in my head. But remember, we break these apart into my favorite number. Divide by 10. And divide by 5. Because 10, 5, 50. Okay, so let's move over so we have more room. So 50 divided by 10 is, let's change colors to purple, yay. 50 divided by 10 is 5. And 50 divided by 5 is 10. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our number and just go like this. Divide by 10, and then divide by 5. So we don't need to actually do this down here. Whoops. Epic fail. Let me redo that. This thing is just so big. It's because I'm zoomed in. Alright, that's better. Whoops, sorry 10. I chopped your leg off a little. Purple. Where does this decimal come from? This is supposed to be divided by 10. Okay. So 4 divided by 50, which we'll put an equals sign here, and then we'll go 4 divided by 10. And we'll do that first. And then we'll divide it by 5. And what is 4 divided by 10? That, you just move the decimal, 0.4. Because I moved the decimal over, times 10 is 4. So divide by 10 is 0.4. That's why 10 is my favorite number, because you can do crazy things with 10. Okay, so we have 0.4 divided by 5. It's still kind of weird, but 4/10 divided by 5 is much easier. So you could do, I'm going to show you 2 ways to do this. If you add a 0, it becomes, whoops, uh-oh, what was that? Something crazy just happened. Ah, there we go. Ah, even better. Sometimes craziness leads to awesome things. 0.4 is the same as 0.40. Now this number is 4/10. 4/10, or 40 hundredths. It's the same number. If I add a 0, it doesn't change it, but it makes it a lot easier if you're dividing. 0.40 divided by 5 is the same as thinking of like 40 divided by 5. Well, what times 5 is 40? Let's see, 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30. 7 times 5 is 35. 8 is 8. Uh-oh. Pop-ups. I hate when they interfere. Okay, this is taking way too long. But it's important, because you'll be able to do these a lot faster, like in 10 seconds. Well, maybe 1,000 seconds when I'm done. Okay, so that's 8. And we're done. How many 5s go into 0.40 divided by 5 is 0.8. Now before I go, you might be thinking, why is it 0.8 or 8/10 instead of just 8? Because 40 divided by 5 is 8. But 0.40 or 4/10 divided by 5 is 0.8. Because we have to keep the decimal. We just keep the decimal right where it is. And that's the answer. Now how do we check this? Well, remember this is an estimate, so we don't have the exact number. But if we go back to the beginning, we're looking for our answer, which we rounded to 4. So if we rounded to 4, we'll try to aim for that 4, or just 4.0. So our answer, and we divided by 50 in this case, so just go the other way. 0.8 times 50, like a fact family, should equal, let's see, 8 times 5 is 40. But we have one decimal, so 4.0. And it checks out. It checks out perfectly with our estimated number of 4. So if we divide by 50 to get the answer of 0.8, then 0.8 times 50 should get 4 again. And it did. Yay! Alright, and where's the done button? Done. Okay. Finally, I can check the weather and see if there's a snow day. All I want to do is sleep in. I'm so tired. Cat running around all night. Wish she would divide up that catnip. She tends to eat a whole pound of it. All she does is run around into the walls. How to stop cat from crashing into wall. How to stop cat from crashing into wall. Oh, after catnip. Misbehaving cats need schooling. Ha. That's what I'll do. I'll send her to school. Oh, whoops, it's still running? I know I hit that button.